started, and we're good to go, Miss Kim.
Perfect. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for logging on. And I'm just super excited to be here and hosting with Kiana. Something that I truly have a passion for, on top of being an esthetician, is social media. So you guys may have seen my post before. I love that Bushbalm always reshares some of my posts, and I'm super thankful for brands and companies and things like that, and even just other fellow estheticians for sharing my work on social. But my name is Kimberly. I've been a licensed esthetician for 13 years, and I primarily focus on Brazilian waxing. So that is something that I find it to be a little bit challenging at times to be, able to create that type of content for social media. And, we'll get a little bit more into that and like tips, tricks, things that I do to help kind of get away with showcasing my work. Because at the end of the day, that's what we are doing on social media. We're trying to showcase our work and to promote our business and to, bring in a clientele and keep the clientele. So I'm definitely excited to share some information with you guys today. All of this is something that, I'm sorry, what I'm about to share with you guys are things that I do that work for me. And it may or may not work for you, but it doesn't hurt to try something different and see if that's something that now you can do as well. And as an esthetician, I'm always here to help, and I really enjoy helping others. So let's get into it. And I'm really excited to see what we can all learn today. So why should you guys care about social media marketing? Honestly, there's a lot of reasons to care, and here are just some of the few that we feel are very important. So for, the biggest one is it's free marketing. So this is a great tool for you to use to generate more revenue. It is your portfolio, so it kind of showcases a little bit of you, your personality, what you're offering, the services you're offering in your studios, suites, spas, salons. Websites are out and Instagram is in. So I feel like it's super important to showcase your work properly on social media, because that's the first impression people are going to have of you and your business. It can also help to build relationships with your existing audience and your clients. That's something that I 100% believe in, because that's how a lot of my clients um, see what I'm up to here at the studio, what I'm offering. And then I get to keep up with them as well. So I get to see what they've been doing on their days off, or if they went on vacation, or and when they come back, it makes for such a great conversation starter, or like icebreakers, because kind of in a way it's like you've seen their little life and what's going on in their personal life. So it's kind of a nice way to touch base with them when they're in your studios. So I love that one. That one's one of my favorite ones. You can attract potential clients, which is very important. This is how a lot of people can find you, especially because on social media, you can just type in waxer in, for example, in Ottawa, or waxer in Woodland Hills, waxer in Los Angeles. So it's really important to make sure that you are showcasing where you're at, and tell people where exactly you're at. It does increase your credibility, so it does help, so people can see that you are a fantastic waxer, you're a fantastic facialist. So it's a really great way for you to showcase your work and the credibility. And lastly, showcase your personality. I think this is so important, because I always feel people, when they come in, they can sense my energy already. They kind of have an idea of my personality. I'm pretty bubbly, I'm pretty happy a lot of the time. So I feel like when people come in, they do get what they see on social media. So it's very important to be your authentic self and showcase who you are as a person. And that can be just little ways of, if you have pink gloves, like maybe you're a little more girly, or if you're a little bit more grungy, like black gloves, and stuff like that is a lot of fun to post and create like a whole personality around your social media, so people can know who you are before they walk into the door. And I feel like that makes them feel a little more comfortable before even coming in or booking an appointment. They kind of already have an idea who they're going to meet when they walk in through the doors. So there are endless opportunities for growth in your industry, I feel like a lot of us forget that there's so many things that we can do outside and the scope of what we're already offering in our studios. So, for example, podcasts. I was recently on a podcast. It was so much fun. And it was Beauty with a Twist with Dee Dee, and it was an hour long. It's on YouTube and it's on Apple and Spotify. So that was a lot of fun. And she found me because of my social media. And she reached out to me because of my social media. So when I did the podcast, it was a lot of fun. And it again opened up a lot of possibilities to my business. And I ended up getting so many new followers. I don't even remember how many, but it was so many followers. And the snippets that we posted ended up getting like so many views. I think it was like over 200 and something thousand views. So I was like, whoa, that's the most views I've ever had on a video. And it was really exciting to see that people were also commenting, and it created a huge buzz around my Insta, which was so exciting. Brand partnerships, opportunities to work with other brands. I'm very, very, very fortunate to work alongside with Bushbalm. I love Bushbalm, and I have used their products for many years now. And it's a lot of fun to be able to work with Bushbalm now, to be able to do these type of webinars. And again, this is just an endless opportunity that we can do here, because we can make so many webinars about so many things that we can help you guys with, one of them being social media. So I've worked with other brands as well. You can have partnerships with them. You can have QR codes and codes for products that you can get a commission off of. Club Bear is one of my favorite things as well, because with Bushbalm, the more you purchase, you can get points and stuff like that. So I love working with brands, and I think that's something that everyone should care about. PR coverage. I love to see when I have friends and colleagues and things like that in our industry. They made it to like the news, and you're like, whoa, like that is so cool that you're showcasing your work on national television, and people can figure out where you're at and see what services you're offering and the products you're using. And it just, again, builds credibility around your business, and pretty much levels up your whole, business in general. And then there are beauty awards and things like that. So I love Savannah. I know a lot of us know who the Dallas Esthetician is. If you don't know, you need to, go look at her Instagram. She's a really funny esthetician based out of Texas, and she makes a lot of funny content, a lot of great informative content. And she has a ton of followers now, and she's grown so much over the years. And I really do look up to Savannah for that reason, because I feel like we can all strive to do similar, if not things that she's doing, and apply it to our social media so that people can enjoy our social media. So, because we're funny, right? Like estheticians, I feel like we have a really great sense of humor. So I think that it's a really important thing to remember that there are so many opportunities available for a lot of us, just because our industry is, I feel like it's very small, because a lot of us know each other. There are so many opportunities. So I'm very excited to let you guys know that. And here are some things that I feel like you can focus on for content. I know content creation is very difficult, and sometimes we feel like imposter syndrome, or we feel like, oh, somebody already did that. But it's really important to remember that it's okay, and understand that your audience and know your account. So I think that's something that's also important. Who's your audience? Who are you trying to attract? Is there a certain clientele that you want? So your followers, your top locations, gender and age, active times, and account status. So these are all very important to look at. So if you don't know what time to post, this is, for example, the blue lines, all of that is like a really good example. So 12 a.m. may be, a little too early. 3 a.m. is too early. 6 a.m. is too early. So you peak around 12, 3, and 6 p.m. Those are on the times that, for example, could be a good time for you to post your content to generate the most views. So it's always important to go into your account and make sure you're looking at your stats, and make sure that you're watching what is the best time to post, even down to like the gender, down to the age. Who are the main people that are watching these videos? Are they interacting with your videos? Are they doing well? Are they not? And sometimes like you'll post something and then it'll be very funny, and then you'll post something again similar to it and it won't do as well. So it's just kind of a hit or miss sometimes, and that's completely okay. Don't feel overwhelmed if a post doesn't get a ton of views opposed to other stuff. As long as you're creating content in general, that's the whole point of this. So keep going and don't get sad or disappointed if you feel like something didn't do too well. We've all been there.
For sure. And then one thing I just wanted to flag for account status. Now, I don't know if other STs in this call have experienced this. I know Kim has for sure, but Instagram has become very strict with the kind of content that you can post. And it's really important to just understand where your account stands within the meta guidelines. So if you go to your settings and scroll down to the bottom, you're going to see a section in your Instagram that says account status. When you press it, you can tell if your account is totally fine or if it can't be recommended to other accounts. If you have content on there or on your account that has been flagged, it means that your account will no longer be pushed to new people, which when you're in a state of growth, that can be very detrimental. So you just want to make sure that your content is always going to be able to get pushed to people. So sometimes I know Kim gets a little risky with what she posts. I like to get a little risky with I post on Bushbalm Pro. But sometimes the meta guidelines kind of get back to us and say, this is sexual content, even though it's not, and it's educational. But it's probably robots controlling all this stuff. So just want to make sure that if you've never checked your account status, please, please, please go check it. And you might be suggested to delete or remove some content. Once you do, you'll be able to push your account forward to new accounts. So hopefully that makes sense. But if you've never checked your account status, I highly recommend you do so because you want
Yeah.
to continue growing.
You could also appeal it before you delete it. And if it doesn't get approved, then I would suggest to delete it because your account could be shadow banned and you don't know it. And that's another reason why maybe your content isn't reaching as many followers. So definitely, Kiana, thank you for bringing that up. I feel like that is such a big one right now. And definitely, I think everyone should check their account status today and let us know if you need anything.
Check it right now.
Right now, guys. So let's talk about our in-feed posts. So education is my favorite thing to do. I always love to lead with education, and it has such a commonly asked, such as commonly asked questions. So before your clients come in, before a potential client comes in, I always love to have so much information on my page. That way, if they're feeling nervous, they don't know how long their hair should be, they don't know what to wear, I like to be able to have all that information on my social media because I'm sure a lot of us have received DMs or texts asking us, like, how long should my hair be? Didn't I just shaved yesterday? And so sometimes I feel like if you have the proper education on your page, that can help save a lot of time. Waxing reels, showcase your work, and include shock factor. Again, let's be careful when we are showing anything. I have seen videos that show a lot of vulva or a lot of, even if it's like a snippet, like it kind of came out, I would just not post it. I would try again. So just be very mindful because, like we mentioned earlier, we don't want you to get flagged. So showcase your work as much as you possibly can. And I do love a good shock factor, a good before and after. Esthetician client relatable reels to showcase humor. These are always hilarious to me. I will spend so much time on social media just scrolling and laughing at everyone's posts because some people get very creative. I've been seeing a lot of people post like a Grinch outfit right now, like people are wearing Grinch like suits, and it's just so funny. And I think it's so relatable to our season. And if you are a funny person, I think that you should definitely showcase that on your platform. Before and after, so carousel posts are really great because if you have like 2 or 3, 4 photos, it'll keep popping it up on Instagram so people can see that there's more. So it's kind of a higher chance to be seen more frequently and more often because there are multiple pictures that will come up. And then lastly, funny memes with pop culture references. I recently did a I'm Just a Chill Girl, and that did really well. It's that little person that's like the chill. And then for some reason, that one did really good. And it took all of like 2 seconds to make on CapCut. And it was already a video I had. I literally just put in a video with this relatable pop culture reference, and it blew up. So it was really funny. So I definitely feel like this again will come with your personality. So just showcase what you think is funny, and you're gonna attract clients that think it's funny, and you're gonna attract clients that you might get along with really well because you have the same humor. And story posts. Don't forget to post on your stories. Out of sight, out of mind, your clients will forget about you. So I like to post at least once or twice a day if I'm at my studio. So you can showcase a day in the life and a glimpse into your business. A lot of people, I love watching videos like they get stuff out of their car and then they take you like along all their whole day. And I feel like the dedication it takes to set up a camera and like have all these clips of somebody doing something is dedication in itself. But it's also nice to see that it's relatable because we've all been there. In general, like mixing your wax, setting up for your clients. I love when people post like how many things they have lined up for the day. So it'll say like 10 Brazilians, 3 underarms. Like, I think that's so great to see like what your day is looking like. Your availability and your open time slots. I do this all the time. I'm so guilty of doing it. And I always get complimented with my clients saying like, I love when you do that because I don't have time to always go on to your booking site. So it's always really easy for them to see what I have available. And if it matches up to their availability, it makes it so much easier for them to book. And sometimes they'll go on and they'll try to book and it's already gone. So I think it's always really nice because it feels kind of like a race almost like, oh, she's got these available. Let's try to snag that appointment. I also love getting interactive. So I do polls, question boxes, quizzes. So I'll put up a wax strip and I'll say, guess that strip. And it's so much fun. It's so much fun for people to guess and then they get it wrong or they get it right and they get excited and then they come in and they're like, I knew what strip that was. And, so I love getting interactive with my people because I feel like it keeps them also reminded that I'm here and they need to book their appointments. So I love sharing and reposting from the community, especially if you post something that is so relatable to me and my business. I'm that type of girl that I love to support other estheticians like me, especially solo, because it can get you a follower. It can get you a few people to go to your page. And I love to just be able to share with my community. And then your highlight function. So your highlights on your stories. So you can create little highlights and make different ones and customize it to your business. So for example, you can make a highlight for before and afters, a highlight of your policies, a highlight of the time that you went to ICSC New York or anything like that. So it's kind of more exciting for people to see your page and get to know you a little bit before they book. So story posts are a lot of fun. I love doing the story posts. Ooh, my favorite story post, I don't know if you guys want to chime in or anything on the chat, but my favorite story post to do is like unboxings. I love doing an unboxing story post, especially if I'm like bringing in my retail from Bushbalm so clients could see that I just restocked and then when they come in or they might want to place an order with me. But if you guys want to let me know what are your favorite story posts to do, I would love to hear it. Okay.
Maybe some people will comment some in, but the story post for the unboxing, I think, is such a nice, subtle way to let your clients know that you got new retail. Like sometimes if you just post a photo of your retail shelf, it feels almost like too obvious. So the unboxing, you're taking them through the experience and kind of like showing them the behind the scenes, which any behind the scenes content, I feel like clients always appreciate.
especially if there's like a new product you brought on. Oh yes, unboxing, reviews. Those are good. Reviews are awesome. Prepping, love up a good prepping story. Ooh, Elizabeth has a Bushbalm order to unbox today. She
What a
will be
good
with.
opportunity.
Yay! We're not gonna miss any opportunities here today. All right. So a quick boost, going a new following. Gain a new following during the giveaway period, and try to hit the audience with offers that help convert them into a first-time customer. So I want to chat about hosting a giveaway. Giveaways are so much fun. I do them often. Sometimes they do really well and sometimes they don't. But when they do really well, it can help you in so many different ways. So, personal, you can follow me, like this post, tag a friend, share this post to win X. So you can like give away product, you can give away a service, both just depends on how generous you're feeling. You can collab with another account. So follow both of us, follow our accounts, like and tag a friend to win whatever you'd like to give away. So giveaway ideas could be like an aftercare basket, a service and retail product. I think that right now with Christmas coming up and the holidays in general, I feel like I've been seeing a lot of giveaways. And it is just such a nice thing to do for our clients at the end of the year, especially because they've been so loyal and they've been so kind to us that it's always really nice to give back to them in the smallest ways possible. And I cannot agree anymore with like giving them a service and a retail product. I think it's just so nice to set them up for success. And you can always switch it up. So if you want to just do like my clients or brand new clients only or open to all, I think that it's always really nice that you can customize it the way you like because it's your giveaway. And you don't have to do too much. If you have one product you want to give away and that's all, then that's fine as well. I think it's a really nice gesture.
And then one thing to note with these giveaways is if you are providing a service, just putting a disclaimer to let people know that like only people in California can enter this giveaway. You just want to be really specific with it because people are going to have to physically come to you. But it's incredible with these giveaways because it's a great time to gain a lot of followers. And even though those people might not schedule an appointment right away, because now they're a follower, they'll be following your stories and they'll see your posts in the future, and maybe you'll have like an offer going on 2 months down the line where you have every Brazilian this month gets a free vajacial, and you might be able to convert them then. So it's really just about getting people into your funnel and getting them to become your audience so you can eventually convert them.
So here are some things to note as you post. Don't ever be afraid to experiment. Trial and error is the only way to learn what works for you and your audience. I feel like sometimes there are certain videos that I would like to create or do, and I feel shy or a little bit out of my comfort zone. And I try to remind myself that it's okay and that some stuff that's a little more risky ends up doing really well. And I think, again, it comes back to your personality and just showcase who you are as a person, what you think is humorous or funny, or I think people and your audience will appreciate that. So don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone a little bit. Number two, just because you saw a person do something doesn't mean you can't do something similar. I cannot agree with this anymore. No idea is really that original. Everybody takes from everybody on social. If you really feel some type of way, give credit where it's due. But then again, you don't have to. It's okay. And I feel like I've done this before where I saw something and I thought it was so funny. And maybe this person was a hairdresser. And I'm like, well, I'm a waxer. So how can I apply this to my business and to what I wanted to make a video of something like that? So, for example, right now, I wanted to create this video that there's this girl on TikTok and she's a hairdresser and she's like always staring into the camera, looking very pretty, and she's doing the girl's hair. And she has like different outfits, different hairstyles. And I love to get dressed for work and I love to do that. And I thought maybe I could do that too. And it would be funny because people who know, and it would be relatable to my business now. So I always feel like I'm not shy to be a little copycat. It's okay. It's all right, guys. And then separate personal versus business. You can have two different accounts. I have two different accounts. I have a personal account and then I have my business account. And the reason being is because I have a son and I'm married and I go out, I do family related fun stuff, and I don't always want it to spill into my business page. Although people know my life, especially my clients know who I am and they know my life, they appreciate that I have another account and they love to be able to see my personal life and they love to be able to follow me on my wax page. And one thing that I do kind of intertwine is my TikTok. Sometimes I'll make videos on TikTok that are personal, and then sometimes I'll make work ones. So it just really depends on you and your lifestyle. If you don't mind your clients seeing you out and about on your work page, that's fine. Sometimes I do post on there little things, but I like to keep them separate. I don't know if you guys want to comment on this chat. Let me know if you guys have a personal account or if you don't mind posting personal stuff on your work page. I kind of want to see what people do and if we agree or disagree. I love this. We'll give it a minute. But yeah, this one's really good. I like that one.
We'll see if people want to roll in here. I think it's really important to just understand that, you know, ultimately it's your decision. You can choose if you want to mesh everything together or if you want to keep things separate. Like Kim said, like Kim, yours is separate, but you do share like a little bit of your personal life onto your business account because, you know, it makes sense to. It's like part of your personality. That's just that's what works for you. So it's not, you don't have to completely have them separate. But this way it just kind of allows you to have a focus on your business Instagram, and then you have your personal one for just personal. So we have two people that have kept it separate, Allison and Jocelyn. Yeah, so Jocelyn, it kind of seems like you're taking the same approach as Kim. You keep it separate, but occasionally you add a little life dump to your waxing page so they can get to know your personality more, which I think is so great.
And then Allison said, boundaries are important. I will choose to sometimes share my personal through my business page by collaborating with my personal. That's really cute. I like that idea. This is why I wanted to know. I wanted to see like what people do and what I could take from it too, because I do feel like it's nice to show some of our personal life and people appreciate it because they see that we're human. Okay. So let's talk about how to capture the best content. This one's cool. Yeah. Camera quality is very important. I use an iPhone 14 and I feel like it really captures pictures really well. I think, yeah, that's my picture. So that is a really good picture. I think it looks so clear and it's hiding most of the vulva. Could barely see her mons pubis. So we're being very mindful again here. And I love to use the what is it called? Portrait mode and cinematic. Those are the two that I definitely tend to use. And I love to make sure that the lighting is always great. And by that, I use a ring light. I also know there's so many things now, like you can purchase to add more lights. So if that's something that you feel you need in your room, if it's darker inside, I would highly suggest investing into something like that because I feel like it's super important for creating content. So having the right tools available as well. So the ring light that I use has like a snap to put my phone on, which is really nice because when I'm filming, I can really have control of how high I want to put my camera, how low, how close to the body. Again, we're trying to be very careful with how we film and how we capture certain body parts, especially if you're a waxer here. I know that a lot of us want to be very careful, and I think having the proper tools and lighting is going to help with that. And then how do you get your clients involved? This is something I get asked often because I feel it's a little bit like you kind of feel a little shy or not sure how to go about it, but let's get into that. So, how to start the convo? How do you like say, hey, like, can I film you? Or, are you comfortable with that? Like, it's all about your confidence too, I feel. So when you ask somebody, ask your returning clients because they already know you. The first timers, I feel like it's a little bit much because there's the first time and you kind of don't want to overwhelm them. They're already feeling a little shy maybe or a little, unsure what to expect. And then on top of that, you're going to throw, can I film you? So recently I did do it. I asked a girl if I could film her first time in her reaction. It was a reaction video. And she was just like, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. And it wasn't like filming her body, it was filming her face, like laying there and her reaction to a first time Brazilian wax. She was comfortable with it and she was really pleased at how it wasn't as painful as she thought it was going to be. So I thought that was a really great way to showcase your work and how amazing you are as a waxer and how calm your client was on the table. So ask your returning clients because again, like you have already established a friendship with them, a personal and work relationship with them. So I think it's always nice to ask someone who's been coming to you for a while because you've already established that trust. Also, let them know it's for educational purposes. A lot of times people want to help, they don't mind. It's just that you have to let them know that it's for education and they'll probably more than likely say, yeah. Reassure them that you won't post the date of their appointment. I never post the same day. I always let them know that I'll probably post it in a few days or later down the week, just because somebody might know they were here, or a family or a fan member or somebody like that, and you don't want them to feel like, oh my gosh, everyone's going to see me. They're going to know it's me. They knew I was there today. So just make sure that you're not going to post it the same day. Consent forms can be given, but not necessary, or included in the service. Include on a service wave. So my booking site, when they're booking and they're signing off on the at the end, the consent forms, it's already on there. It says that we do ask to film sometimes, and that if they decide they don't want to film, they just politely could decline. So you don't have to have them sign a waiver or a form, but if you really want to, you can. But as long as they give you the consent and they're comfortable with it, that's good. And then provide them with an incentive. So sometimes I do this where I'll say, I'll give you a 10% discount on your service. You can add on a complimentary product. So if, let's just say you're not booked in the next 30 minutes after they leave, you can say, I'll give you a free vajacial. Have you ever had one? If you let me film it, I'll give it to you for free. You won't have to pay for it. Just pay for your service, which is like the wax. And they get to sample the product, or you can give them a sample of a product. So they get to, try something new, something fun and creative. It's giving you time to make some content, to be, again, your creative side. And then you offer them something small in return, and they actually will appreciate it. And sometimes I give a sample of a product, or I'll just give them the full product in general. So I did that with like the summer vacay oil. I did recently a video, and I told her, you know what? I had just opened it from the box. I said, you can keep it. And she was like, she was so happy. It was actually the coolest thing in the world. And I was really happy for her too. Also film with clients. So avoid showing birthmarks and tattoos. So if I see a client has a huge tattoo somewhere that's going to be visible, I won't even ask them. It's too much. I feel like it's going to be hard to hide it. If they don't mind it, it's fine. But most of the time, I would just not ask if they have a huge tattoo that's very obvious. Birthmarks, so things like that. So try to hide it as much as you can. You could always put like a napkin or something over it, or have them hold with their hand. I've done that before where I'll have them like kind of place their hand there so it doesn't show the tattoo or the birthmark. Modesty is crucial, guys. Cover those intimate areas by draping properly. I've seen videos and I'm like, yeah, I don't want to see that either. And I'm a waxer, okay? So I just get a little bit nervous for people when I see that they've posted something a little too much. And I think that that's gonna, get you in trouble on social media. So we don't want to get you shadow banned. We don't want you to get in trouble. So just try to be very modest. Get as close as possible to the body. So try to film it as close as possible so that way you're not getting anybody's private areas on the film. Use a ring light or get someone to help you film. I've had someone help me film before. I used to have an intern, and she was an esthetician intern, and she came in, and it was really great. It was a very good time to have her around because she would just help me film things. And then when you film film when you have gap in between clients so you can take your time. So I don't like to ask clients if I'm back to back sometimes because it just feels like the time being spent with them, I'm not really paying attention to them. It's just filming. Or I have clients tell me like, you're gonna like, you know, while I'm filming and we're talking, they're like, you're gonna like mute that, right? And I'm like, of course, we're not gonna air out all of our conversation. So just be again very careful with how you film and make sure you take out the audio in the background so nobody hears all of the conversation. So that's something that that's a personal one that I do.
Love that. I think one thing to note is obviously like Kim is a Brazilian queen. That's like her bread and butter, and that's what she does. But just because guidelines have been a little strict, she's had to, shift into showcasing more underarm waxing or different body parts. So if you are a little bit nervous to, go ahead and start off with the bikini line and vulva, I would highly, highly suggest you start off with, a brow wax or an underarm wax if you are going to be filming.
Correct. I love that idea. Yes, let's get into Canva basics. Who here uses Canva? A show of the hands, or if you guys want to hop onto the chat, I want to know who's on Canva. Perfect.
Two hands. Nice.
Obsessed. Allison's obsessed. I know, me too. I can literally spend hours on Canva just scrolling through like, all the pretty templates. So there are two types of Canvas that you can have. There's the free one and the Canva Pro. It is free to sign up and use. I think that if you don't use this marketing tool, it's like you're missing a big part of things that you could be doing on social media for education. It's super user friendly. I recently had my mom try it and she's not very great with technology and she was able to figure it out pretty easy. So I was like, that's great, mom. Pre-made templates already. So I think that it's already done for you pretty much. You just have to apply the things that you want to say and change it up a little bit. So I think that it's very easy to use. And if you're not using it, I think you really need to start getting on it as soon as possible. How to effectively use Canva. Pick your brand colors and fonts and figure out your aesthetic. So there's ways to create a it's at the top of my mind what it's called. It's like, what is it called, Kiana? Like when you create like your
like brand kit?
Yes, the brand kit. It's so easy. You can pick all of the fonts that you want to use, all of the colors, and it's already there for you. So when you do pick a template, you can switch it very easy to your brand kit. So save the colors and templates that you like for later. You could star them and then they save for later so that later on you're not like me scrolling down Canva for hours trying to figure how to create like a new brand. I love to switch it up. So something about my page is that you're never going to always see the same thing. Right now, my aesthetic has been very neutral and I just can't get enough of it. I love neutral. Create templates for yourself. So whether you love pink, purple, base it around your brand. Who are you? What is your brand? And stick to it for a while. I think that a lot of people have their page, it's a kind of all over the place. There's not like a specific brand or kit that I'm seeing. And personally, I feel like a lot of people like an aesthetic looking page. So they want to see who you are through Canva.
For sure. And I think just one thing about picking your brand colors and fonts really saves you a lot of time, because once you kind of just decide on what the focus you want to use is, like let's just say it's Arial font and your colors are pink, light pink, and white. Then going forward, whenever you go to create content, you can just pick a new template and then apply those colors to the template. So just that way, every time you're about to make a new, campaign or a new offer or a new post of some sort, you're not sitting there starting from ground zero. By already having this set up, it kind of gets you like ahead of the game.
Truly.
So for Bushbalm, on the Bushbalm side, we do offer social media assets to our pros. Who here has already used Bushbalm social media assets before? Nobody. Oh, we have one person here. Okay, perfect. And you might not be using them because you don't even know they exist. So let me introduce you to the resources we have available. So it really is as simple as a click, download, and share. We provide our pros with ready-made story posts and in-feed posts. The difference between those is a story post is going to be sized to the rectangle shape, and then the in-feed posts are created to be square. Um, you can download these directly to your phone from our Google Drive, and it's really, really easy to access. So if you just go to pros.bushbalm.com and you click the sidebar, you'll see education, and under there, you'll see social assets, and you can click there. This is a free resource for you to use, and it's created for you to take advantage of it. We know as STs, you guys are your own accountants, you're your own social media managers, and you're an esthetician all on top of that. So we truly do have these available to you to make your life easier. Now, when do we drop these photo dumps? We always drop a photo dump whenever we do a product launch. So that with all of our scent launches, we always do a little social dump, and then to any core products that we do. So this year we launched social assets for wax, vajazzles, all the scented oils and scrubs. We did Radiant Reset and After Dark. I don't think I'm missing anything, but that was all that we dropped, and you can access this all on our website. So, sometimes if there are weeks where you're like, "Oh, I want to post something, but I don't know what to post," you can take advantage of these resources. And this is a little bonus section that I really wanted to add because social media is very, very personal. And just like what Kim said at the very beginning, the tips that she just provided were things that work for her, but it might not work for everybody. And that's why we strongly encourage you to trial and error. We did reach out to two of our other Bushbalm pros who have been extremely successful on social media. And we asked them, hey, can you give us your insider tips and tricks? I'm shocked they didn't gatekeep, but I knew I knew they're nice, so they would share. But we're just gonna go over some of the 6 points that both of them provided. So the first Bushbalm Pro that we asked for advice from was Monique Haddad. Just with a raise of hands, have you guys seen Monique on Instagram before? Okay, awesome. Yeah, her content is so incredible. So she gave us some really incredible tips and tricks. So Monique said, prioritize content value. High quality content and the value you offer your audience matters most. So if you look at Monique's content, she has essentially two streams of content that she typically posts. One, which is education towards the esthetician, and then the other is education towards her client. Whenever she is posting to either of those audiences, it's very clear on who she's trying to reach, and within seconds of watching it. So just making sure that the content that you're providing does provide value. She always goes forward with education. So that's her thing. Use tools for ideas. So Monique, I know, has really, really leaned into ChatGPT. This might be a new tool for everybody, but ChatGPT is an AI platform that really helps you with brainstorming ideas. This helps her with content and captions, but she still does rely on her own creativity for unique ideas. So, just with a raise of hands, have any of you guys relied on ChatGPT for any business ideas, social ideas, anything like that? Okay, it looks like a lot of you have definitely taken advantage, which is so incredible. Again, ChatGPT It's not, I can't even say that it's cheating at this point. It's really just using, taking advantage of your resources because everybody's using it. And if you're not using it to help you get ahead, you're truly doing yourself a disservice. Another thing that Monique said was invest in the proper equipment. So recently, Monique upgraded her video camera gear, and she also moved into a new studio, which has helped her level up her game. But she wanted to stress that, although new equipment can help you level up your content, it doesn't replace good content and value. So just because you get a new camera doesn't mean you can start slacking on your ideas. You still need to, have those kind of move up hand in hand. She also said, learn editing tools. So she really leans into CapCut. Who here uses CapCut for editing? Okay, awesome. Definitely looks like a few of you use it. She says there's definitely a little bit of a learning curve, but it gets easier over time. So, really be patient with yourself and don't get super overwhelmed a little bit at a time when it comes to CapCut. There is a free version for CapCut and a paid version. So again, similar to Canva, you will be limited to what you can do if you do the free version, but you can always start off with free and figure out where you want to go from there. Optimize your filming space. So obviously you want to choose a very comfortable space with good natural light for better visuals. I think that was the one thing that has really leveled up Monique is that when she moved into her new space, she has so many windows surrounding her which really helps with the incredible lighting. So someone like Kim, her space is a little bit darker, so she really relies on ring lights. But Monique, she has that natural lighting already working in her favor. So she just has to film during daylight hours. And finally, and this is, I think, the most important tip from Monique, is just start sharing. Stop aiming for perfection and just share what you're working on to build confidence. You'll never, ever know what content's going to hit or not unless you post it. And again, this just really leans into our trial and error. So, in case you don't know who or you've never seen Monique before, I did include her handle up top at Monique Haddad. That's just her business name. So I really, really, really encourage you to give her a follow because she is honestly setting a really, really, really incredible example. The second esthetician that I want to share with you guys has a very unique aesthetic. And I really wanted to talk about kind of personal branding. So Reese Schroeder, her name on social is Moon Me Wax Studio. And who here with a raise of hands have seen Reese before? Awesome. Okay, so definitely she is no stranger to everybody. So Reese has this like dark aesthetic going for her. She kind of gives off like the spooky vibes. And that's not just limited to Halloween. This is just her all the time. But she is really into infusing her personality. So she strongly believes to have a strong social media, you have to reflect your passions and interests in your studios to make your branding unique. So Reese, she said like she was always like a tatted up girl and black was always her favorite color. So she really leaned into that to make that part of her whole business. You'll never catch Reese wearing anything other than black gloves, I assume. So that's her vibe. Avoid conformity. So don't feel pressure to conform to social media trends or standards and be authentic. Definitely, I mean, there are different ways that you can go about this. Like Reese definitely has posted trendy things before, but she just means like don't put yourself in that bubble. And if you do think of a unique idea, take it on. Attract the ideal client. So again, leaning into your personality to connect with clients who share your interests. So this kind of leans into the having a business Instagram or a personal Instagram, or if you kind of want to infuse both. By showing a little bit more of your personal side, you might be able to connect better with some clients that you wouldn't have connected with if you just focused on business. Now, Reese definitely preached about Canva. So she says, use Canva to create a mood board as a starting point for your branding. So Reese definitely leans into the templates and the branding and the fonts because she is very consistent with what she posts. And this also kind of leads into gather inspiration, but collect colors, images, and ideas from creators or platforms like Pinterest to define your vibe. So if you don't really know where to start, you can always, look at people like Monique, Kim, Reese to be like, what are they doing? What do I want to do? Like we said, social media, a lot of ideas just aren't so unique anymore. So copying other people and, gathering inspiration from them is totally normal. So if you do feel like, there's a piece of Kim that inspires you or a piece of Reese that inspires you, really lean into that and run with it. And finally, build gradually. So develop your social media presence step by step based on your mood board and inspiration. And you don't have to do everything at once. I think that's the most important part is it can be so overwhelming to start off with social media, but you don't need to put so much pressure on yourself and say, I need to post every day if I want to be successful. Sometimes you can just start off by saying like, hey, I'm going to make it a goal to post once a week. And then from there, I'm going to build up. Sometimes I think we put too much pressure on ourselves and it then discourages us from doing anything at all. So really, really, really just starting small. So both of these gals, they're incredible Bushbalm pros. If you did want to reach out to them via DM, you can to just, pick their brain and chat about social with them. But they have said that their DMs are open for our Bushbalm pros. So I would definitely lean into that. So that concludes our social media webinar. We did throw a lot of information to you guys, and I'm sure there are probably a few questions. If you did have any questions, you can come off mute now or throw them in the chat. Or Kim, is there anything you want to share as a finale?
I think just have fun with it. Like you said, like don't overwhelm yourselves. I do get a lot of compliments like, oh, how do you do it? How this, how that. I think it's just something that comes naturally. And because I know I want to build my business, it's part of my business. So I don't even make it a chore. It's like part of everything I do along with being a business owner. And there are times, like you said, where like I go through like a dry spell where I'm like not sure what I want to say or, you know, and I do draw inspiration from others. So I think that it's okay to remind ourselves to take a break here and there, but pick it back up and get inspired and ask your other, friends and people that you have, like if they want to make funny videos or, find your niche, find what works for you. And it's going to be okay. And I feel like everyone um they eventually get it. So I'm very happy that we were able to do this. And if you guys have any questions, please, please, please feel free to ask.
There was a question in the chat from Jocelyn just asking, is ChatGPT an app? I believe there might be an app for it on your phone, but you can just access it like on their website. You don't need to create an account to use it, but I actually kind of recommend you do, because if you create an account, then ChatGPT just ends up saving all the questions and like ideas that you put in there over time, and it just helps AI understand you better. So for me, like ChatGPT knows everything about Bushbalm Pro because I'm always in there getting help for, campaign ideas and stuff like that, or even social ideas. So you don't have to create an account for it, but I recommend you do, just so it helps you in the future.
Yeah, I love ChatGPT. I even ask it about other things non-related to waxing.
We have a
Oh,
question from
yeah.
Melissa Kim saying, do you have a go-to script to ask clients for before and after photos or videos? She's a little bit shy and doesn't know how to ask.
I just ask. I'm like, hey girl, I'm like, right now I've been trying to film vajazzles. So I kind of throw that in there, like, can I give you a little bling bling today? And if you don't mind, can I film it? So I think it's just like casual. It's not even like a script. It's more just, hey girl, like, do you think I can film this today? It's totally cool if you're not comfortable with it. Like I kind of just like, it's okay, And I promise you, like 10 out of 10, like they say yes most of the time. I think it's more just be confident in it and ask your returning client for sure. I think that they'll say yes. And let me know if you need any more help. Yeah, just throw it out there. Just throw it out there. Thank you, Alyssa.
Love that. I feel like making it, obviously it's not like a very casual thing, but the more casual you can kind of make it sound and make it not intimidating, they'll be like, oh yeah, sure, like I'm laying here anyways, like if you want to take a photo, sure. I feel like that's kind of the reaction that you typically get,
Yeah.
Kim.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Kiana.
Of course. So we did record this webinar and we will be posting it on our webinars page. So if you did want to access this later on, you totally can. But yeah, thank you so much for joining, everybody. I know everybody probably has a hard stop at 2 o'clock, but the Bushbalm Pro Instagram is always available if you have any questions that you want to ask us. And Kim, as our in-house SD, she's always open to receiving DMs as well. So if you do have any questions that kind of pop up in your mind later on, please feel free to reach out and we're happy to help.
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Oh, yes, Kim's Instagram is dropped down there below. So you can go give it a follow if you don't already. And I hope everybody continues to have a great holiday season. And if you're not taking time off, still try to find time to rest because your body needs it. But yeah, we'll see everybody in the new year.
Yay. Happy
Bye.
holiday. Bye.